With the UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jon Jones, obviously looking absolutely fantastic here at Jackson's MMA. You're looking pretty good, sir.
Thank you, sir. You look good too, like always.
I appreciate it. A little Shark Tank out there earlier today with so many guys training. It's a who's who out there. I mean, Jackson's MMA is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's monstrous program, man. Just a whole bunch of guys who really want to be here, working hard, giving their all day in and day out.
Glover Teixeira is next. Everyone keeps talking about Alexander Gustafsson, but you have a task, a hurdle in front of you right now. Talk about that fight.
I'm fighting Glover Teixeira, April 26th, the UFC 172. Great challenge, phenomenal fighter, guy who hasn't lost in about 5 years. He's won his last 20 fights. Great knockout power, jiu-jitsu black belt, very good takedowns. I'm fighting the total package, and I'm excited to see how I do against this challenge.
And you and I have discussed on numerous occasions the fact that you needed that fight versus Alexander Gustafsson to grow. Vitor Belfort showed you some adversity in that armbar. When you look at a guy like Glover, do you think to yourself, this guy can't hurt me? Or you know what? No, he's trained to hurt me for a reason.
Yeah, I respect all my opponents. I've never looked past an opponent. And I think that's why I've made it so far in my career. Just giving each guy my full attention. And, yeah, he has our full attention. We've seen what he's done. We respect him and his coaching staff. And we're taking him very seriously.
And of course, you are the man. Bullseye on the back. Everyone's talking about you, whether it's Phil Davis calling you the Ultimate Jones, Jon Jones fighting championships, and so many different other things, saying he would crumble, you'd crumble in his hand. Does it bother you at all when you hear guys say stuff like that?
No, it doesn't bother me. I realize guys have a job to do. Their job is to try to get title fights and go about it whatever way that they feel fit. I'm that guy. I'm the guy that guys, need to fight against. And so I'm comfortable with the role. I'm comfortable with what it comes with.
Georges St-Pierre recently hurt his ACL, this time on the right-hand side. He's already gone through surgery on the left-hand side. He was out for 18 months. Do you think this is the final straw that breaks the camel's back? And we're never going to see Georges St-Pierre again? Or do you think he's gone through enough adversity to say, no, maybe he will come back?
It's hard to say. George is a really driven guy. I also know he's had a lot of success, and I don't really think he has much else to prove. Whether George comes back or not, it's not up to me to say. But I wish him well, no matter what he decides to do. I'll always be a huge fan of him, and I'll always thank him for the inspiration he's been to me personally.
We talked about Rory McDonald earlier on, the pressure that this guy is on. He's still young. Is he going to be the next Georges St-Pierre? Is that the mindset he should have, or should it be something else?
I don't think he should be striving to be the next Georges St-Pierre. I think it's great that he's trained with Georges St-Pierre and has been able to draw from him for so many years. But being the next George there'll never be another George. George is he's his own man. I think Rory needs to focus on being the best Rory he can be, and creating his own style, his own way of thinking, his own way of fighting or whatnot, and strive to be better than George.
To close us off, we'll close things off with the pay-per-view coming up in Baltimore. Art's pretty much hometown right now. Glover Teixeira, April 26th. What's the perfect fight for you?
The perfect fight for me is just to go out there and get right back on those dominating ways. My last fight was a really tough fight. It was a hard-fought fight, one that I'm grateful for. But every camp, and since day one has been all about domination. And we're right back on that horse, dominating the opponent, not just winning the fight, but finishing the fight. So that's my goal. I'm going to go out there and look to finish this fight.
As always, thank you very much for your time.
Hey, thanks, Showdown.